I raise my staff to you in warning. The following episode of Blackwell's podcast contains spoilers for Life is Strange.
Hello and welcome to the Blackwell Podcast, where we love Life is Strange almost as much as Mikey loves rolling natural 20s. My name is Zach, and today I am joined by Jamie.
Hello.
And Sean.
Hey.
Joey and Aaron. Sadly couldn't make it, but we are also joined by the voice of Mikey from Before the Storm. Say hi, Dillon.
What's going on, guys? Dillon Winfrey.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good.
So for the people who might not know too much about you, could you say a little bit about yourself for the show?
Okay. I voice Mikey North in Life is Strange Before the Storm. I'm an actor out here in LA, which means I'm battling traffic most of my life. And yeah, it's I love it, being a nerd. This is surreal to me.
I bet, yeah. Yeah, I bet it's. I mean, I think this is something we've talked about with pretty much everybody who came on to Before the Storm, but I can't imagine like jumping onto something onto like a franchise like that already has like such a massive like just like super dedicated fan base, people that are already like so behind it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it is kind of surreal, especially like, being, I'm in this, it's like I'm in the zeitgeist, the nerd zeitgeist, so yeah. It was exciting.
Awesome. So, let's get started with the questions. So, Dillon, what interested you into becoming an actor?
Well, I grew up reading comics and playing video games and like all that stuff. So cartoons, anime, manga, all of it. So I've always been like really into the stories. I know this is such a cliche answer, but the story aspect of film and TV and even video games, I remember in the 90s, I'm old, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm old. But I remember the discussion, are video games art and yada, yada, yada. And I always thought that was insane. But when I got out of college, my brother is an actor. And so I kind of had a little bit of taste of it, just just getting to see what it was about. But I wasn't sure I wanted to jump right into it until, I got experience. I got on set and I saw, the work that the actors put in. And I knew this is what I wanted to do. Being able to take on it's like when you're a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? As an actor, you can be anything for a specific amount of time, but the range is limitless. So that's what really got me into acting.
That's awesome. Was there like anything like you actually grew up with that kind of helped that passion? Like was there any like video game or TV show or movie that kind of helped with that decision?
All right. Don't laugh.
No, we won't. It's okay.
There's this game. Okay. It's called Lunar Silver Star Story, and it's an RPG, a JRPG. That was my shit back in the day. And I remember thinking I never really was excited about, I'll get up and I'll go to this job or whatever. I used to watch my parents work hard, and I thought something was wrong with me. Like I didn't want that. And in the game, long story short, in the game, the main character, he just wants to go on an adventure. He just wants to lead this life, this exciting life, or what he deems exciting, and he goes for it. And that stuck with me to this day. It still sticks with me. It was like, just go for it. Just do it. You have nothing to lose.
That's amazing.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So, speaking of your acting career, how did you get involved with Life is Strange?
Not so glamorous, actually. I was so, you know, when you're an actor, especially when you're starting out or you're like hugely famous, bigly famous, you
Some of my favorite words.
you've gotta like grind it out. And
Yeah.
I was at work and I was submitting, and I saw a breakdown for a video game. And at the time, it was for voice. At the time, it just said Alameda. I was like, that was the code name for the project, was Alameda. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm saying it.
I think someone has already said it
yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah, somebody else.
Okay.
I don't remember who. One of the other voice actors said it.
Yeah.
Okay, well then they'll blame them.
You got somebody to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was called Alameda, and so I submitted, and I remember just leaving work, and I'm like, oh man, traffic. I'm torn down at the end of the day, and I just decided to submit for it. I got the audition, I went in and I did it, and then next thing you know, I'm playing Final Fantasy 15, and I get an email saying, hey, we want to bring you on. And I was like, dope. Then I got the script, and me and my roommate are huge nerds. And I knew Life is Strange, so I'm playing the game. I'm reading, looking at the script. I call my roommate, and I'm like, oh, man, I think this is Life is Strange. And we freaked out. He's like, no way. But it turns out it was.
Oh, that's so
awesome.
cool.
I think you're the first person who said that they knew the first voice actor we interviewed that said that they knew what they were like. They knew what the source material was before like getting the part. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, and I was oh man, I didn't know, like I still didn't know the role of the character or what he was gonna play, what role he was in the game. But I was like, wow, this is Life is Strange.
So to expand on that, our next question was, did you know anything about Life is Strange before you got the role? And if not, what research did you do?
I absolutely knew about it. A friend of mine had downloaded the demo, and it was just like in passing, like I didn't know anything about the first Life is Strange. It was demo on PlayStation Network. So I'm playing it, we're going through, and it was just that first part when Chloe gets shot in the bathroom, and I said, oh shit, I gotta go download this. I went home, downloaded it, played it, and I loved it. And my roommate downloaded it, and he loved it, and you know, I don't have a lot of nerd friends out here, but they all played it and they loved it.
That's awesome. The demo is how I had gotten to it as well. Which I'm surprised. I mean, I guess I'm in the minority, but I always thought that little beginning section in the demo wasn't too strong of a hook because you don't get to see too much yet. But I guess it worked. A lot of people jumped on after that.
For me, it was the ending when it ties it all in. It's so cyclical. It ties it in so perfectly. And if you know the whole game, when you start it over, you see all the little minute things that you missed when you first played it.
Right. It is, yeah. It's really good. We could talk about that all day.
Yeah. Okay, so were there any good stories from whenever you were in the recording booth?
This is my favorite question.
First time, let me think. The first time I went in, I completely nerded out. Everyone involved is a nerd. They all play video games. They all did the voice, helped record the voice for a lot of like major, games like Fallout 4. I think they might have done the Witcher. I'm not sure, but a lot of like huge AAA games. I remember Okay, so the director, his name was Phil. And for me, it was hard. It was hard because it's not like acting when you have someone to work off of. You're in a booth with the script and you don't hear the lines, really. I didn't get any tandem recordings. And so I remember, tell me, I know there's spoilers, but I don't want to spoil the third episode. But we were doing the recording, and Phil's like, I need it. I need this energy. He's just laying into me, and it was stressful. And I'm like, can I just take a break? And I go out and I sit next to him, and he's like, you ever been through anything like harsh in life? And I'm like, yeah, I've been through some stuff. And he's like, magnify that times 10. And he's just going on, like, I don't even want to say the stuff. I can't repeat the things he said to try and get me emotionally ready for what was happening. I was like, this is just not appropriate. It was intense. It was like,
Damn.
it was intense. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me just go in here. I don't need to hear this.
Yeah, we've heard a few stories about Phil.
Yeah, he seems like it's like if he wants an emotion, he'll get it by no matter what.
He will. You will get it. You will stay there. You will be there until he gets what he wants. But I love him. It's great. I love that.
Yeah, he sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dungeons and Dragons, have you played it? And if not, do you plan to?
I want to. I played it years ago. So my dad is the person that got myself and my brother into the nerd world, and we played it once. Like, it's got to be like 94 or something. But I don't remember a lot of it. I've played very little. I would love to play it. Actually, I've got a friend who she plays online. She Skypes in to her friends back home and plays. So I'm planning on playing with her, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you get to play it, you'll have to let us know how it goes. I play my current group's in a little bit of a hiatus, but
Mine is too.
Yeah, I DM for a group of people I met online, and yeah, we do it the same way. We play online. There's a web program called Roll20 that is specifically designed to play those like RPGs over the internet, and it's real good. But yeah,
I want to play.
It's a ton of fun. It's my favorite hobby. I love video games too, but
I want to play in y'all's game. Let's play.
Oh, my game. More pressure for me to, because the only reason the hiatus happened is because I started slacking off on getting work done. So.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of work, especially Dungeon Master. My goodness.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun though. It is as much of as hard of work as it is. It's like I'm really passionate about it. I really love doing it.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I DM for my group at university. I've only been DMing for a little while. Zach is much more talented than I will ever be, but it's really fun.
And so, when you're Dungeon Master, you make the rules, right? You make the story. Do you make the world?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Play the villains, play the monsters, play the other good guys.
Yeah.
Good time.
That's dope.
My friend really wants to get me into like their D&D campaign, but it's like I've seen like that they drew like a huge map of the world. It's like, yeah, this is awesome, but I don't really want to play with, because the people they're playing with are, well, hopefully they don't listen to this, but they're a bit of a dick. So if they're listening to this, hi, but no thanks. But yeah. Maybe
that would be me as a Dungeon Master. I would be the worst Dungeon Master.
Yeah, it definitely.
You could roll 20, doesn't matter.
It's a game you can only play with like certain people, but it's a ton of fun. If you're playing it with the right people, it's like one of the best. Like I think it's like one of the best things you can do as a group of friends.
I totally agree.
Oh man, I believe it. I know I'd love it because I mean it's the foundation for like the RPGs that I love. So
right,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely. You'll have to get with us when you do. I'm sure you'll love it.
I will.
All right. So for our next question, do you find that you relate to Mikey in any way?
It's so strange how much I do relate to Mikey. Mikey is me. Mikey is me when I was like pre-high school, I think. Mikey is me. Absolutely. And it's so weird, even down to his struggles with, his parents or his family income, stuff like that. It's funny because, we go through these things in life, and these games, these tabletop games or RPGs or video games or whatever they may be, film, TV, they're like an escape.
Yeah, totally.
So
Right.
you get to live this life, you get to relax for however long you're doing this one thing. You can forget about all your problems outside. And I think that's a major appeal. And I definitely did this. Hell, I still do it. I just finished playing Assassin's Creed Origins because I was so stressed at the traffic out here. But it's literally the same. I have an older brother. When I was Mikey's age, my brother was playing football too, doing the same thing, and it's crazy. I don't even know, I don't know what to say. It's literally I am Mikey. Like he's my spirit game.
So close, it's almost.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So since
That's really cool.
Yeah. So since you relate so much to Mikey, if Mikey were to receive a superlative in the Blackwell Academy yearbook, what do you think it would be?
That's a hard one. You know what? I'm gonna say, since he's me, I would say, I didn't get any superlatives, so I don't even know what superlatives there are. I would say most douchey. Here's why I say that. Because, at the beginning, right, when we first meet Mikey, he's kind of standoffish, He's like, oh,
Yeah.
here comes Chloe. Like, she's going to come and make fun of us, because he's nervous.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like an introvert. He doesn't really think that anyone will accept him. So he's cautious to outsiders, bringing them in. So he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And then he starts to see that she's getting down. He's like, oh, shit, Chloe is dope. But I would say he would get that only because people might not understand him, or they might not take the time to actually get to know him.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
totally.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, I got that feeling too whenever you first kind of start hanging out with them. It's like you said, he expects, I think he's misjudging Chloe, and he expects her to like make fun of him. And I could get how somebody, if they think that everybody's going to treat them that way, then they kind of accidentally do that to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. And then you add the fact he's going through what he's going through, so that can affect.
Right, his attitude. Yeah. That's good. That's a good point. It's interesting because, even after you hang out with him for a little while, and especially after what happens in episode 2, you see that he's like not like that at all. But,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite Mikey line?
My favorite is, wow, Chloe, you punch a lot of dicks. That's my favorite one. I played it over until I got that.
That is a good one.
I forget exactly what he says, but I like it whenever he casts, in the D&D game, whenever he casts, I forget what they call it, but it's somebody's acid wave, and I just...
Is it I don't know if it's Urkel's acid blast, something acid blast.
Right, yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
I love it just because of like how like fucking cheesy and nerdy it is. Like that's exactly like the name of the D&D spell, because you have like an actual one is Melf's acid arrow, which obviously is like the inspiration for that, and so I love that. It made me laugh pretty hard whenever he gave out this really dorky name for a spell. I love it.
We actually had to record those over a few times because we didn't want to conflict with any real spells out there, like Gignomies, fire, some of flame.
Yeah, Mordecai and
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really funny. That was
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mikey has a bunch of good lines in the D&D game.
Yeah, he does.
All right, out of all the students at Blackwell, which one would you like to hang out with the most?
Let's see. If I'm being honest, Chloe would get me into trouble, and I don't need that. Steph, I think I would really get along with Steph. Like, she's
Same.
super chill.
I think she's really personable, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
she's so chill that I don't know. It would be easy. It would take no work.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
Just be really
Like,
laid back.
Sup? Well, you want to get something to eat? All right, and then y'all just kick it. I would not want to hang. I mean, I would hang out with Chloe. I would not want to hang out with Nathan though. I wouldn't hang out with Drew either. That's my brother in the game.
Yeah, Drew can seem, definitely your opinion changes of him a bit after episode 2. But after episode 1, I think everybody was like, man, this Drew guy sucks.
Yeah.
And then you play episode 2 and they make you feel bad about it. And you're like, oh, you're not
But
that
in episode 3.
Oh.
No, I don't want to do it.
December 19th, everybody.
Only a couple of days.
It's gonna be. It's really good. It's really good. I wish. I'm trying to find little something that I can give you, but I will say, I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
God, it's driving me crazy.
That's good enough for me. Okay,
There's
so
some stuff in there you'll like.
okay, so if you were given the opportunity to voice any other character, who would you choose and why?
Let's see. Any other character in the game or any other character in general? In the game.
In the game, yeah. Just go both. Why not?
I would voice Nathan Prescott. Just as an actor, like, that's something like here's a kid who is so just troubled, and I hate to get all actor and artsy, but like getting to that point, the training where you have to go to emotionally to give a real performance, I think is interesting and it's challenging. I think either Nathan Prescott or who was the teacher in I can't remember his name.
Mr. Jefferson?
Mr. Jefferson. That was my favorite character. I would really love to do him as well. He's like because he's so calm and cool and you really like him, and then you find out what he's done and now you're just, and he's so menacing. I love that. I always wanted to play like a bad guy.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun. I playing the villain's always the best part. I mean, of course, D&D isn't your acting, but playing the villain is always like one of my favorite parts. So you can be bad guy for a little while.
Yeah, it's the same for like my assessment that I literally did a couple of days ago. At uni, because I study acting, I played a bad guy, and I picked that. Like, a lot of other people didn't want to pick it, which is like fair enough, because he doesn't have that many lines, which people were kind of like worried about. But I feel like I was like, I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to play this asshole. Like, try me. And it was definitely like much harder then, because there were 2 characters in the scene, and the other one was like a kind of like seductive like lady. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to play, like, the douchey, like, kind of sinister, like, asshole who's going to do something really bad. And I was like, I want to do that. And it turned out quite well, and it was really fun.
Isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, and I think that, like I said before, the challenge of it, and, really, especially when you're studying a character or something, you're breaking down, you're doing your character analysis, you have to find some empathy there, an apology for the devil. Why is he doing that,
Yeah, that's something I was talking about the other day, like, because at first I really couldn't find anything that, like, I kind of, like, empathized about him. Like, I just hated his entire character. And then after I found something that I empathized with him, I was struggling to, like, properly convey, like, the fact that he's still a bad guy. And I was, like, struggling between the two. So, yeah, it was definitely hard.
Oh, man. It's great.
Always seems a lot of fun to play the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah, one day, indeed.
Right. Whose turn is it for the questions?
Me.
Okay, sure.
This is for questions from fans now, and
Wait.
I'm sorry for saying.
We have the last one.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay, Sean.
I can't count. I'm sorry. I failed maths 5 times. Okay. What advice would you give to those who are in a similar situation as Mikey or Drew?
It's hard. It's not hard. I mean, I think I was in the same situation actually, and I remember one time in college, because I was going through it for a while, about 10 years of massive struggle. But when I was in college and I was trying to make it out in 4 years, and I didn't know what to do. I had no money, no food, no nothing, absolutely nothing. And I went to one of my professors, Dr. Andrews, or Kovia Andrews. Shout out to Dr. Andrews if she's listening. I'm going to send it to her. I'm going to make her listen. She told me, as I was having issues with my mother and family situation, and Mikey and Drew in the game, they're doing these things, or Drew's doing this for his dad. And I remember her telling me, like, I understand you worry about your parents, but at one point you're going to have to worry about yourself. And that really stuck with me. And it's like, you can't save someone from drowning if you're drowning yourself. You have to save yourself first and then help them. So if you're in a similar situation, definitely help when you can, but make sure you're in a stable situation first. Because if you're not, then, and I know from experience, if you're not, it's going to be a disaster. You have to help yourself first and then reach out and help other people.
I think that's good advice, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Hopefully a lot of listeners can take that advice and use it in their own situations. And if you are in a situation like that, we're really sorry, and we hope the best for you in the future.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, and I would also say, if you're in a rough situation, don't be afraid to ask somebody else for some help.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah,
Don't.
100%.
I was out last night with some friends bowling, and it's crazy. These past 2 weeks have been so insane. With just like a few friends came to me, and one of them came to me and just divulged this information. I don't want to say, respect his privacy, but
Right.
he had been, he'd been going through an issue. He went through an issue. He's been dealing with it, but he hadn't said anything. I had no idea, and he just bottled it up, and that can be dangerous as well. So definitely don't be afraid to ask for help. Someone will help.
Yeah, definitely. I've recently been having a bit of a rough time in regards, but I decided to talk to somebody else. Just have somebody to talk through things with, get stuff off your chest, and it really does help, even if it is something that minor. It can really help you out.
Definitely.
All right, so now we're gonna do questions from fans, and our first question comes from Malcav, and they ask, "How would you have defeated Durgaron the Unscarred?"
I would have used Acid Blast, and here's why. I wouldn't have popped it off too early.
Wasting those spell slots early.
I wouldn't have done it too early. I like to just see. Well, Acid, I don't, I'm not familiar. Usually in games like that, Acid, it can poison, and if it poisons, now it's taking it down little by little by little. So I probably would have just used Acid Blast. I would have saved it. I would have let Calamastia, or in my game, Calamastia, I would have let her charge in first and take all the hits. I mean, I'm a wizard. I'm not
Playing like an actual wizard.
Like, you're going ahead. What I'm doing,
Yeah.
give me about 5 minutes, I need to warm it up.
Right, let your bird free and take all the punishment.
Yeah. That's how I would have beat him, or like, nah. I absolutely. That's what I would have done.
That's good. You're already a better player than Mikey, evidently. Mikey's trying to show
Tried to show off, yeah.
So our next question is from Martin, and they would like to know, how do you feel the role as Mikey affected you both on the set and as a whole?
I think, it was almost like looking at the younger me. So it was nice to get in touch with younger Dill. And as like on the set or going into the studio and recording, I think it was a great experience, because you really think some people may, you think it's easy, and you're like, it's just not. It's not easy, especially when you are not working off of anyone. So I think that taught me a lot. I mean, that was a great challenge. I mean, I wish I could do it again, but it just made me more determined, actually, made me want to take on more roles like that, more voiceover. I want to be skilled in, all aspects.
That's cool.
It inspired me.
There you go.
Yeah. That's so cool. I don't know. That's who I am. Stop judging me, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's tearing me down.
You're tearing me
I
apart.
was trying to be supportive here. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. So the next question is from Chris, and they said, are there any other video game characters you wish you could play? And if so, why?
That is a good question. Okay. I wish I could play Bayek in the new Assassin's Creed. I love it. Assassin's Creed Origins. I wish I could play... Oh, God, what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? And this is one of my favorite games. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
What game is it? Maybe we can help you.
It's voiced by Troy Baker.
Okay.
Oh, that could be anyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
Ocelot. Jesus, why did I blank on that?
Oh,
I wish I
okay.
could play in Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
5. And his character in Last of Us. That's who I would
Joe.
really love the most. That's who I would really love to play, because he's
My
such.
boy.
You know why? And why? It's because of him. I was speaking with Phil about this, and I was like, we were talking, we were recording. I'm like, he's worked with Troy Baker and Nolan North and these gods of voice acting, and he's like, they're so good, they're so professional, they have an internal like recording device. So if you tell them to go back and read a line the way they did 3 or 4 lines ago, they know exactly how they did it and they can repeat it. So when you listen to Troy Baker, when you're playing this character, he really brings it to life. Like, I want to act it on screen and I want to voice act it.
Yeah, Troy Baker's really talented.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of like characters that he does which they get a lot of cred, but my boy Bucket DeWitt, he never really gets much love. Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah. Bioshock. He did a good Joker in Injustice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is he Joker in Injustice?
Wait, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I believe it was, right?
It was Arkham Origins.
Oh, yeah. No,
Oh,
it is.
Is that Arkham?
I met him, because I met him because of the Arkham Origins
Oh, that's pretty
tour
cool.
thing. Yeah, he's cool. He's an awesome dude. I think Jamie's met him as well.
He's fucking tall.
Yeah.
I'm like 5'6", and he just like walked over the table. He was like 6'3". I was like, oh my god, my neck is so sore right now.
Yeah, I need to work at it. Because I'm not at their level yet. They're amazing.
Yeah, they're totally insane. But I guess that's why they're at the kind of the top at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure you'll get there. All right. So this question is from Mike, and they ask, what is your impression of the Life is Strange community so far, and how do you feel about being such a big part of it?
I love it. I think, I was a part of it prior to the game, but I think that seeing the interaction, seeing the fans, and seeing their reaction is the most fulfilling. As cheesy and cliche as that is, I remember when the game dropped, I was at work and I'm on YouTube and I'm like, what are the reactions, right? How do people feel about the game? I'm really invested in it. I want them to love it. So I love that people love the game. I love that they love the tabletop game, the D&D. I don't know why they just didn't call it, Dungeons and Dragons. I guess copyright or whatever. But
right.
I love that they love that. I love that, they like Mikey. And I was talking to one of the designers, Webb, and he said, we should do another Life is Strange with Mikey and Drew, where their dad dies. You should. Keep an eye out for that.
God.
That may be coming, actually.
Life is Strange just becomes a game about dead dads.
Totally, yeah. That would
Okay.
be
That
sad.
might be coming.
So our next question is from Uneasy Hearts, and they would like to know, what is your favorite tabletop game?
Let's see. Monopoly. Because it's such a depiction of real life. Like, you can skew the rules, and it's reality. You can make it not fair. I mean, people have done, university have done studies on it. I love Monopoly because I can be greedy as hell. I can be
perfectly fine.
I've never heard such passion about Monopoly before.
I feel like the
It's
closest...
like,
I'm sorry, go on ahead.
you can just grind your friends into, like, you could put them in massive debt and, like, just to be mean for no reason, right? It's just cause. I love it.
I feel like the closest I've ever been like that invested in a game is whenever a bunch of us were playing like Trivial Pursuit online, and we kept on like having like internet connection issues for like one person, and the game ended up like, how long was it, Zach? Like 3 hours or something?
It was a long game of Trivial Pursuit. It was way too long for Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
That's a long game.
Yeah, I haven't played Trivial Pursuit in years, but I know that I wouldn't want to play it for that long.
For 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Monopoly drives me crazy because it takes forever to play. And
It does.
I play like the big complex tabletop games that, like, they'll take like 6 or 7 hours to play through, but like, I don't know, something about Monopoly, I can't handle it for more than like...
You need a whole day to play Monopoly.
Right,
and
yeah.
you need to be willing to sacrifice friends. Kind of like Uno.
Yeah, Uno. But,
you guys remember Risk?
oh yeah,
Risk?
of course.
Do they make that
Oh, I
anymore?
don't know.
Yeah, they make it.
Yeah, definitely. I was in a hobby shop the other day, and I think I saw like it had some new weird version of Risk, I think.
Yeah.
That had like really hardcore rules to it. Like, it was like Risk like Pro Edition. There was like a lot more like rules and stuff to it. And I was like, man, if I'm playing Risk, I don't want to play it for like rules. I just want to play it to like stomp on my friend's like territory and take over his nation.
Right. Age of Empires Tabletop Edition. That's what it is.
There you go.
I should get that. I should play that again. I loved it.
Age of Empires is a classic.
I don't think I'm familiar with it.
What? I
Sorry.
have to get this. You can't get it I really don't know. I looked. I tried to torrent it. You can't find it.
There's Age of Empires, I believe, is getting a remake. The first
Yeah.
one.
Are they?
Yeah. The
Is
first
it going
one.
to be like a microtransaction thing?
No, I don't think so.
I think it might just be like updated graphics, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to have to get that.
All right.
So finally, Anonymous asks, do you cheat at Cards Against Humanity?
What? I mean, okay. What is cheating anyway? Is it even a real thing?
You can say.
So subjective. Like, I mean, look, I don't. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what this question is about,
Is it from the stream, isn't it?
it's from the stream, right? Yeah, with
Yeah, I was
Katie
watching.
We played Cards Against Humanity, and I dominated as Mikey does. And thanks, Trey was there, and because we just have a brotherly connection, he just supported me, and I dominated. I think it was like 14, 15 cards. The game was over. We were still playing. I was still winning. I had never played Cards Against Humanity before. Maybe it was beginner's luck. I don't know. We'll say that.
Well, the thing about that game is that all you gotta do to win it is be funny. So
Yeah.
that's what it tells you. You're just way funnier than everybody else.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I did not cheat. I don't think I don't think I cheated.
Of course not.
Right.
So that's it with the questions. Thank you everyone to everybody who submitted a question, and thank you Dillon so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. You taking the time to join us and answer the questions from us and the fans.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I mean, it's a pleasure to do. It's an honor to be, just even recognized or even, be a part of this and be able to communicate with the fans and all this stuff. I love all of it. This was me. I'm one of them. I'm a nerd. So imagine it's like, it's crazy. It's surreal for me.
Yeah, it
So
was really
thank
cool
you
to have
very
you.
much.
Yeah, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. It's always cool to
Thank
get
you.
to talk to the people behind this game that we love so much. So it's great.
Yeah.
It's always great.
Yeah.
Well, guys, keep me in mind for your D&D. I'm
Definitely.
looking for some teachers.
Definitely. I was thinking about running maybe a like a very short campaign, maybe like a few sessions long for the podcast crew. But you know what? Maybe we can invite you to come along.
I think, I'm
Do
down.
it.
I'm super down. Let's do it.
We'll see. Well, we'll definitely send you a message if we talk about that anymore.
All right. Well, all right, guys. Thank you for having me. It was fun. Anytime.
Yeah,
Give me a call.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for being
We really
here.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Guys, have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
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 Talk to you later.
See ya.
So that was Dillon Winfrey, who is the voice of Mikey North from Before the Storm. So let's get into some housekeeping before we end the episode today. So after this episode is uploaded, we're going to take a hiatus for a while. We're taking a little bit break, recharge our batteries. We'll be back in February, I believe. And we'll have we'll be making episodes. We'll make episode 2 episodes about Brave New World, and then Hell is Empty. So we basically pretty much this is just a rest, so we can celebrate the holidays and just get enough episodes planned, if that makes any sense to everybody.
Yeah, take a little bit of time off. Make sure our next episode's a real good one.
Yeah. And I'll talk to anyone who's going to ALA in January, keep an eye out for me. I'll be there giving away a special Life is Strange prize, which is very hard to come by. So if you see me, say hello.
To complete the game of people trying to spot you, can you dress up like Waldo from Where's Waldo?
I'd have to.
No, go as Tommy Wiseau.
I'll put a poll.
Where's Wiseau?
Yeah. And if they see me, they have to say, "Oh, hi, Mark." Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's pretty much it for like upcoming events, right? I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's end the episode here. Thank you to everybody on Patreon who supports the show. We really appreciate it. All the money that will be made after expenses will go to the Trevor Project, which is an amazing cause. Please check the link in the description to check out about that. And with that said, we'll see everybody in the new year. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
May all your rolls be 20s.